literally fucking having a
Stroke.
stroke.
Stroke face.
You literally look like you're seconds away from death.
Stroke face.
Stroke.
All right, card now. All right, lads.
Behave yourselves.
Boom. Here we go with a bit of fucking smack talk. So we're going to talk about 259.
Yes.
So we'll talk about the main card first. There's one or two little bits I wanted to talk about on the prelims. So I think we should talk about Jan Blachowicz versus Izzy.
Yeah.
So I can't remember exactly what our picks were. Anybody remember what we picked?
Yeah, I tell you my picks. I picked Adesanya to win. I picked Nunes to blow her away, and I called the other fight a wash. I couldn't pick. I have to say I was very impressed with Blachowicz. He showed that he was definitely more patient. He's a better counter striker than I gave him credit for.
Yeah.
He looked in some fights a little bit wild at times going forward, and I think actually Izzy even said that they were kind of nearly prepared for kind of a little bit of his wildness. And I think, like, in fairness, I'd say his camp were very specific about it. Like, his wildness wasn't there, and I'm not saying he couldn't have won with the wildness, but I think it would have been to go in against someone like a sharpshooter like Adesanya. It would have been suicide, but I did expect that. But he's definitely a better counter striker than I thought.
Yeah,
he was doing a lot of good parrying the jab and replying. I probably didn't give him enough credit. I didn't see the double legs being there for him the way they were. And listen, I did say at the show, on the ground he is a black belt. And on the ground, the size really does matter on top position.
Yeah,
he looked heavy and he looked really strong in that top position. Izzy didn't look like he had much off his back.
No,
he really didn't.
But in round, if we go back to round one, you could see their plans in round one. Izzy was throwing loads and loads of feints. And he was actually quite. It was quite productive. It was quite a good tactic. He was throwing loads of feints and following it up with really good jab work. Both of them threw a load of kicks, but I think the first.
I thought Blachowicz would have thrown more kicks just because he knew. I mean, realistically, Izzy wasn't going to shoot for a takedown.
No, Izzy wasn't going to. But I think Blachowicz was probably feeling him out in round one.
Yeah,
I think there was a little bit of let's see what he's bringing to the table. I think what Blachowicz showed was that
great patience.
That difference in weight. So that difference in your natural walk around and your comfortable fighting weight shows that Izzy isn't as experienced dealing with a much more durable opponent.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no way that any of those jabs, as annoying as they were, they never really had Blachowicz in any form of trouble.
No.
They were even marked up. I don't even think he was
marked up. No, I mean he
wasn't marked up, but weirdly, he definitely was struggling with the pace towards the fourth, fifth. You could see him he was really breathing heavy.
Who is he?
No, Blachowicz. If you go back and look at it, because I remember looking at it thinking, Jesus, he was really sucking in the action. But listen,
that's down to the wrestling, isn't it? You haven't seen that from really before.
No, and I think the reason he was starting to get a bit gassed out was, and it started in round one, he was reacting to every single feint that Izzy threw.
Yeah.
Every single feint kick, feint jab, Blachowicz was backing away from.
And probably as well, in general, a slightly higher work rate than he probably is accustomed to dealing with a middleweight. The reality
faster.
Is there's going to be a difference in. Well, do you know what? In saying that, the speed difference wasn't as noticeable as I think Izzy thought it was going to be. Because was he the faster? Yes, he was. But was he so much faster that he was beating him to the punch? No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't beating him to the punch. However, he was stopping him getting into range in the first couple of rounds.
He was, but I think if you look at it like this. For me, looking at, especially when it went into the second or third round, there was a lot of, it's like the first parry a lot of boxers learn, is the jab comes in and you're parrying and jabbing, jab is coming in, and not a lot of mixed martial artists seem to bother with it. And if you go back and look second, third round, like the whole thing is you'd want to be pretty quick. If you think about it, you're parrying, so it's hit here, you're parrying and it's and going. So your hand speed, the difference in hand speed between two fighters, if that's going to work, can't be massive. Or all you're doing is parrying and jabbing nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you watch it, Izzy was jabbing a fast jab and he was catching him. He wasn't catching him every time, but he was parrying and jabbing.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect Izzy to get caught with that. I expected the speed difference to be a little bit more. But in fairness, he was parrying and he was catching it. And he was catching Izzy on the return. I don't think Izzy thought that would happen.
Maybe not.
No. And I think in the second and third round, I just don't think the speed was as much a factor as they hoped it'd be.
No, it probably wasn't. Again, I think what the factor that possibly none of them were expecting was the feints. I honestly think those feints played a massive part in those the first two rounds. They really slowed JB down from
like
getting.
You said, it was making him his output, making him up his output. Like, you know what I mean? So he's reacting to absolutely everything.
He was reacting to absolutely everything. So he was getting tighter and tighter. Round 3, I think Blachowicz' output started turning it up, and he started landing a few shots. And I think it was only
the third round he took him down in.
Late in round 2 we got it to the clinch, and you could see the strength difference there. And I think that was JB kind of testing okay, I've got him body to body. I know I'm stronger than him. And at round 3, he took him down. Didn't take him down for very long at the start. But there was a lot of clinch work, I think, in round 3.
Yeah.
And I think you could see there was a serious difference in physical strength there.
Yeah, they were saying Blachowicz was about 220 on fight night.
I think
he's down around 200. Like.
Yeah. I think
that's a massive difference.
The other thing is as well, like some fighters it suits. Like I think that the difference is like if you're at 145, you take a fight at 155. I think it's a very good idea not to put on any weight. Just don't cut weight, because it's a 10-pound difference. I don't think you need to put on a lot of weight, but the difference in middleweight and light heavyweight is 20 pounds.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's big.
So you're not going to put on any extra muscle. The reality is there's a very, very good chance you're going to be out-muscled. That's the reality. You're going to be out-muscled. You're going to be out-powered. Will you be faster? Yeah. Well, and will you be faster? Yeah, but you mightn't be that much faster.
Because you've put on weight to go up.
Yeah. And will you be able to compete at that level with someone 20 pounds heavier than you?
Yeah.
You know, on the evidence that we're seeing, I call it wrong. It's going to be very hard at that level. And I wouldn't say, I got it wrong, but I'd say I underestimated Blachowicz more than I overestimated the difference in weight. Yeah. I didn't think he was going to be able to get to Izzy's legs and for takedowns, and I didn't think he was going to be able to live with him on the feet when it started getting to that third and fourth round. But I think he showed everyone.
He showed everybody else the gas tank to take the 5 rounds, obviously, as well.
True.
And he's technically quite good. Like I said before, he's very good at everything. He's not excellent at everything.
Yeah.
But because, you see him getting wild and in certain exchanges and that. But I think maybe he went back to his roots in a lot of ways. He went back to the basics. And he was very, very good at them.
Yeah.
At all of them. He did the very, very simple things very well.
And is that the key to beating like this caliber of striker that Izzy is?
Yeah, maybe it is in the sense of that, are you better, like you're going in against someone who's a real specialist. Listen, he's developing all the time. Obviously, he's young and he's a fucking serious athlete. But the reality is, he's a massive specialist as a kickboxer. Is the way to beat him? Actually, the old thing was just striker, grappler. Well, actually, is the other thing to be just better everywhere else. So you're not going in trying to kickbox him, but you're good enough to kickbox with him for long enough.
Yeah, but that's a formula we've seen from the very start of the evolution of MMA. You don't have to be as good a kickboxer as the kickboxer you're facing. You just have to be better everywhere else.
Well, you just have to be good enough as a you just have to be good enough of a kickboxer to not be blown away in that area. You know what I mean?
So in round 4, so the end of round 3, we saw Izzy started working Blachowicz' legs a little bit. You start catching that lead leg with a load of kicks.
Yeah,
and
they weren't having the effect that they would. They haven't.
They weren't, but they did force. They did force Blachowicz to clinch a lot more at the end of the round.
Yeah.
And then coming out in round 4, he got straight back into the clinch. He started landing a lot more strikes, not only in the clinch but on the break.
Yeah,
I think he hit Izzy with a couple of headshots early on in that round.
Now, what I would say
double leg takedown.
I was just going to say though what you were saying there. I wonder, was that just? I don't think it was that it was having a massive effect. Obviously, it was having an effect, but I don't think it was ever a case of. Yeah, I don't think it was ever a case of he was going to be hurt so badly.
No,
I'd say it was more of if he keeps kicking me, he's winning point. He's winning the fight. He's winning the point.
Yeah, there is that. But remember, going back to his forcing Jan to react to all the feints, it's a cumulative effect.
Oh yeah,
that term of putting things in the bank.
Putting in the bank like body shots. Yeah.
All those feints starting to wear him down, and then you add on top of that, just pop away at the lead leg. And that's a recipe for disaster.
Oh, I think
Jan is a lot smarter than a lot of people give him credit for.
Yeah.
And I think he obviously knew that, and he thought it's time to start getting into a little bit, bring it into my round.
Mix it up, making it a mixed martial arts fight.
Awkward, yeah. So we got him with the double leg.
The double leg was, I have to say, was I the only one surprised with the double leg? The timing on it was fucking.
On it was
perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Beautiful.
And straight. Like, did you notice when he got the double leg? It was straight into position. Straight in, heavy on top.
He got into half guard.
Like you're saying, keeping the basics fucking sharp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he landed a good few. Like there was nothing amazing, but he just kind of racked up the strikes, a couple of elbows just before the end of the round.
If you look at it,
I don't think he was ever close to finishing him.
No. He was very methodical though, and I thought it was very smart that he just stayed busy enough.
Yeah.
It wasn't getting stood up. They weren't getting broken. Just kept peppering him.
The bit that told everything was in round 5. Like round 5, when I think they both started striking a little bit. And it was noticeable as well in round 5 that Izzy was still making him react to feints up until that point. He was still forcing Jan to react to the feint.
Here's a question for you then. Do you think maybe, in hindsight, obviously, he was feinting too much? That instead of, like, let's say he feinted, for Pigger, and let's say he feinted 100 times. Would he be better off fighting 60 times and up his output?
I think he should have upped his output, and he also should have sat into his punches a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't think there was ever a chance of him knocking Jan out, but I think he could have.
I don't think he even hurt him.
He could have racked up a little bit more, maybe damage in some way.
Yeah.
And then
Izzy needed to open up.
Say again?
I think what Izzy really needed was he needed to open Jan up in the sense of get him throwing combinations, get him swinging a little bit, get him to start moving, because Izzy's his accuracy is fucking, come on, his accuracy is ridiculous. Like, I think for an really accurate counter striker, what they don't want is someone like that.
Yes,
that's just methodically moving in, just keeping a good, safe, high guard, keeping the basics. What they want is someone that's free and swinging, that they're able to step back a little bit, offline a little bit, and
that's what we thought we were going to get.
Yeah, that's what we thought we were getting.
Izzy started showboating.
I don't think you are.
He started showboating in the coming up to the end of round 5, and that's when Jan hit him with that double leg at the end of the round.
I just don't think. Just talking to Jan there, I don't think he's one to hold the belt for. Like, he's not going to be a bleeding 5-year champion. I don't think. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's not
you
the
want
right
to
age.
Really,
Not the
yeah.
right
In
age,
the
yeah.
top 5 there, you're kind of going, yeah, you could lose that. You could lose that.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously, if it was Jones, you'd be going.
They have him lined up against Glover. I'd have to fancy Glover in that fight.
So would I.
Yeah.
But then again, you look at Glover. Glover's 40. So the reality is these two lads are going to be gone realistically with the next 18 months. We're going to see
the light heavyweight belt change hands a lot in the next 2 to 3 years.
I
think it's going to be like. Do you remember the old the heavyweight belt? No, it's going to be a little bit like that.
Mm.
And as well as that, if you look at everyone coming behind them, there was Dominic Reyes, Thiago.
Thiago's done. But let's just finish talking about
Yeah. But I think if you look at a lot of them, they can all beat each other.
Yeah.
There's no one person
that's standing above.
Fuck me. That's the one. You know.
So anyway, Jan took Izzy down at the very end of round 5. After he was doing a little bit of showboating. Got him into half guard again and landed a little bit more ground and pound and good heavy shots as well in the last 30 seconds and kind of solidified his win. And that's the third fighter he's sent packing from the middleweight division.
The other thing is the scoring though. There was no one of those rounds the 10-8 round. Madness.
No.
Fuck it. Listen, I think he won the
rounds, wasn't there?
Huh?
It was 2 10-8 rounds, wasn't it?
Yeah, madness. I think he won the fight 3 rounds. I kind of had a 3-1 and 1 even. Or 3-2.
Yeah.
I think it was the first round or the second round. Like I said, you could have called it a draw. I can't remember which one it was.
It might have been the first.
The first, maybe. There was so little in it. If someone said they called it 10-10, fine. If they said they gave it to either one of them, fine. But I kind of had a 3-1-1 or 3-2 Blavich. There was no 10-8. Madness. Like I want 10-8. And then like you look at McGregor Diaz 2. He scored 2 knockdowns in 1 round and it wasn't a 10-8.
Yeah.
I'd say that's a 10-8. 2 solid knockdowns and domination. That's a 10-8. Someone getting taken down and mauled is a 10-8. But you know, someone getting taken down and controlled. No. Come on, what the fuck are you doing here? Like
he was never close to finishing it. So how's it 10-8? You know what I mean?
Yeah, madness. They're fucking judging again. We could do a whole separate show on the judging, but these lads are fucking Jesus Christ. What fucking watching half the time? Like.
I mean, it wasn't exactly what you call a portfolio performance, but it was a good, smart defense of your title against someone from a different division, and it was against a potentially dangerous opponent. And
an interesting fight in general to see where Izzy is, to see, kind of put Jan in context of how good he is. It was an interesting fight.
Yeah. It's a weird position for Jan to be in now, even though he is already chalked up to fight Glover, because there's a lot of middleweight fighters who have come up, and he's kind of been shooed in as the gatekeeper for some reason. Yeah.
Right.
But I think it's a little bit unfair. I mean, he's a champion, and I'm not sure whether I always agree with a champion from another division automatically getting a title shot in the new division, because you're not ranked in that new division.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it should depend on who you like. I agree with Jones getting a heavyweight title shot.
Yeah.
Because it's cleared out his division.
He has absolutely cleared out that division, exactly.
But I wouldn't say if Jan moved up to heavyweight that he should get a title shot.
Exactly. No. Yeah, that's a perfect example. I wouldn't automatically give him a title shot.
No.
So it's a weird position. Anyway, we'll see. I think, as I said, the light heavyweight landscape is going to change drastically in the next 2 years. Anyway, it's going to be weird. I think in the next 2, maybe 3 years, we're going to see an influx of young blood coming into the light heavyweight division.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of talk of, imagine he had a fought Jones in his prime. The same way we see stuff with Silva.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of changing of the old guard.
Let me just have a quick look here. UFC. I just wanted to check the light heavyweight rankings.
That's what I was going to say. Is there anyone coming up the rankings that is worth keeping an eye on? Even like, I can't think of any of them.
It's a bit it's a bit all over the place. Right, so you've obviously champion the number one contender, Glover, who's 40. Your man Alexander Rakic is 2. Dominic Reyes is 3. Thiago Santos is 4. Jiri Prochetska is 5. Anthony Smith is 6. Magomed Ankalev, I do kind of like him. I don't know if I'd rank him at 7 already.
Yeah.
Volkan Ozdemir is at 8. I think his day is done. Nikita Krylov, Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker is probably the light heavyweight who annoys me the most.
Yeah.
Because
he's another bleeding. The way he came in on a streak and he was supposed to be knocking people out and all. He's Mike Perry. Do you know what I mean? I think he's just a gatekeeper. Like.
What really annoys me about him is, right, I seen him and I actually think he has all the attributes that you should need to, like, he's right, he's tall for the division, he's long, he's a big lad, he's very athletic, explosive. I think his biggest problem is he has no respect at all for the basics of anything. He has no idea, like, of setting up something explosive. He just goes in and does this outrageous shit, and then he loses. I seen a video of him. Training, right, on a heavy bag, and honestly, I've seen, overweight gym goers do a better bag workout. And he posted this like it was his big, massive bag workout. And I actually tagged Paul in. I said, "Whoa, serious work here." And he actually liked it and retweeted it, I think. And I was looking at it, and it was actually, I thought initially then, I was like, it must be a joke. And I looked at it. It wasn't. He thought he was an animal on the bag, and he was hitting like, bang, bang, bang. I was like, this fucking guy, he's never going to be champion.
Who's he up against next?
I don't know. I don't know who to have him up against. Listen, he'll have a great showing every now and again. But other than that, when I say great showing, because he'll go out and he'll move around, he'll throw a knee and spark some.
Yeah.
But I think if some coach took him and stripped him down to absolute basics and said everything you do has to be set up off this, and this, he'd be a serious problem for someone. He's 6'4". He probably walks around 230. He's massively explosive. He's athletic, but he fucking annoys me. Look at him. Where
over here now, isn't he?
Yeah, like he just like you never see him like moving in, jabbing, and then doing something. It's just in with madness, and it's
running forward with it.
Look at me. Look at what I can do, and then he gets fucking sparked, or
I think he would do good in a camp like what's his name? Why is his name escaping me? The Pit. Chuck Liddell's team.
Oh yeah. John Hackerman. Yeah, someone that doesn't give a shit about you saying you're a pro fighter already.
Someone who doesn't give a shit about the limelight or your fucking name.
Yeah.
Just wants to train you. Yeah. That's what I think he'd do well as. Anyway, let's get back to the card. The next card, which was, again, I think we all called it. Called this, but I think John lost money on it.
Oh, we have a big dog.
It was Nunes and Anderson.
That boy was heavy on the dog with this, and he was all in on it.
God damn!
I put 25 quid on her.
He was sniffing. He had the smell of the upset in the air.
Yeah, it wasn't.
She did not know. Let's be honest. Let's be fucking brutally honest, right? In the first 10 seconds, Megan Anderson looked like the proverbial deer in the headlights.
Yeah,
she looked like she was in. She caught a few digs, and her face said to me,
"What the
shit? What do I do now? I'm locked in here with this monster." And Nunes, like, she actually looked confused, which is quite a rare thing. You see someone looking stunned, you see someone looking a bit rocked, and she looked confused, as in, shit, I don't know what to do now. Yeah. And she's a big girl.
She's huge.
She's a 3-inch advantage.
I think John, I think he Googled her exact measurements, didn't you, John?
Yes, I did.
I Do you know what? I almost felt sorry for her. Nunes is a fucking animal.
Come here. You don't be expecting someone like that to win, but there's always a chance.
Oh yeah,
but I'd say
of course,
it'll never have a chance again. Look.
That
Do you know what I mean?
That was a puppy being fed to the lions. That was
yeah, exactly.
She just and not only did she beat her, but again, let's be brutally honest here. Just put the lid on it. Just put the lid on it. Anderson will not be getting a title shot anytime soon.
She's been booted.
Oh, she's gone. She's been cut.
It's a waste of time, to be honest, to give anyone at 145 presently, I think, a title shot. I think the only one that they can hope is that she goes back to 135 because it makes it a little bit fairer in the sense of it's a weight cut.
Let's be honest. She's cleared that division now.
Yes.
Completely.
Which one? 135, 145?
135.
I think.
Oh, sorry.
No, I think.
145.
145 is
empty now.
What I think is you want her. I think for us as people that are interested and for a business point of view, what they actually want is she goes back to 135, just 2 more title defenses because there's actually her cutting weight makes at least a little bit even in the sense of she's probably not at 100% going in. Yeah. She's had to go through a weight cut. Yeah. And there's more fighters, more activity there. And they're hoping your one Kayla Harris develops. I think she's with ONE FC. She's like a judoka, but she's outrageously athletic. I think she's fighting at 155, and they're hoping that she continues to develop, goes to 145, comes across, and then it's marketable and interesting. Who the fuck wants to see? She's only relatively new, but she's outrageously athletic, and she's built like a fucking truck. Yeah, I think she's an Olympic medalist. I could be wrong with that, but she's an extremely high level judoka. I'll Google Weber here. But you're looking at her, and she's a fucking specimen.
The gulf in skill, though, at the moment between Nunes and anybody else is colossal.
Who was there left in it?
Yeah, gold. She was a gold medalist. She's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, a 2010 World Judo champion, gold at the 2010 gold at the World Judo, 2012 gold at the Olympics, 2016 gold at the Olympics, 2011 and 2015 gold at the Pan American. She's 5'8", 155. She's eight fights, 8 wins, 3 knockouts, 3 subs. Her list of accomplishments in judo are ridiculous.
Yeah.
She's a monster. I'd say what they're looking at is she's very marketable within America. She's well known within the combat sports world outside of MMA. She's moved in 8 fights. They're hoping she keeps developing and keeps getting better.
What age is she?
I think she's relatively. She's like 30. Yeah.
She's 30.
Only a chum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think because listen, I don't know about you. I've no real interest in seeing Nunes fight anyone currently at 145. They're not realistically going to get out of the first round. She's she's an animal. I'd say what they're hoping is, like this one, Kyle Harrison continues to develop. Give her a year, 18 months, and hopefully get her across quarter to 145. She fights at 155. She's massive. Like she's a fucking specimen. Other than that, is the 145 division even worth looking at? Like Megan Anderson didn't. What was it? 50 seconds or something?
Probably something like that. Yeah.
When your number one contender is getting completely outclassed in that kind of time, what hope anyone else?
The number one contender she's not even in the top 10.
Yeah, she wasn't ranked.
You know what I mean? She's not even ranked. You might.
It's almost like that they're saying who was willing to fight her.
Yeah.
Someone went, I'll have a go.
Who wants to beat?
Yeah.
I mean, fair play to Anderson for having a go, but she was completely out of her depth.
Absolutely outclassed him.
Like, listen, it's a great time in the sense of, I would say, 3 of the best fighters technically on the planet I know we don't go into the pound for pound thing though. Are 3 women: Amanda Nunes, One Shevchenko, and Zhang Weili?
Yeah, Zhang Weili.
Yeah.
I mean, those 3 are fucking animals.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's another division that looks like it's in danger of either being amalgamated, the 2 divisions, or just being closed, because until Nunes folds up her 10th and leaves,
someone comes along.
Yeah.
Although you need a couple of challengers in to make a division anyway.
Yeah.
Feasible,
you need competition.
Yeah.
Like, you need,
So next fight that we talk about is the bantamweight fight, Aljo and Piotr Jan. So a little bit of a controversial one, but we'll just take it round by round. What did you just make of it? Can you remember like round 1?
No, I probably don't remember it round by round, but I would say I was a little bit surprised with how passive Jan was at times. How willing he was to let Aljamain control the pace of the fight. Now, I think if you look at it, a lot of Aljamain's strikes weren't actually landing. He was in huge output.
Yeah,
but
not as accurate.
Jan's defense was pretty tight, but I don't think he was doing himself any favor by just staying there in the pocket and not really doing a whole pile. And I think
he was expecting that pace from Sterling.
I don't think it was. And I think I think you could see the writing there from the middle of the 3rd round on. Aljamain was completely gassed, because of the output for the first 2 rounds. The weird thing was that Jan still didn't do a whole pile. He was starting to do a bit more, but he was way too passive for my liking, and he was way more passive than I thought he was going to be.
I'm going to disagree with you slightly. I thought Aljamain started off fast. I do think he brought it to Jan. He was very high volume. His accuracy wasn't quite there.
No.
But I have to be honest with you, I think Jan, instead of being passive, I think he just remained calm.
Yeah.
He in the first round, he caught one of Aljo's kicks, took him down. Then I think Aljamain actually got a takedown on him. I
wasn't thinking. I didn't see
a lot more volume strikes from the takedown. But remember, Jan knocked Aljamain off his feet with a straight right.
But how many straight rights did he throw? Like his work rate his output was so low for those 2 rounds.
His output wasn't quite all there.
It was like he was injured or something. It was bizarre.
I think
he was throwing.
The worst thing for Aljo was his output was so high that he started to wear himself out.
Yeah,
his output was so high with so little accuracy that he started to burn himself out. He went for a takedown in round 2. Say again?
I thought he started getting lit up then from the 3rd.
I think he did actually. Yeah, well, he went for round 2. He went for a takedown that Jan kind of. I mean, the takedown attempt went on for almost a minute in round 2. And Jan just kind of gritted and bared it and kind of defended it.
Do you not think that like he started lighting him up? Kind of. Do you not think that his output was just so low?
I do, yeah. I don't like he wasn't. I don't think he was the same as when he fought. Wasn't Aldo his last week?
Yeah, do you think it was kind of a weird performance from him, wasn't it?
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, same.
Title defense, the whole lot. But
it was like he wasn't up for it or something.
Yeah. It's strange, like
bad night at the office, maybe.
Then I think maybe Aljo's pace at the start just put him on the back foot.
Might have, the initial fast fucking straight out the gates might have put him on the back foot a little bit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So round 4 was that, I think, where we find that there was a lot of there was much, no matter how little pop there was in Aljo's strikes, at round 4 there was virtually none.
Nothing.
He had punched himself out. He was just kind of throwing them for the sake of throwing them. Aljo went for a takedown and it was a very clumsy takedown. It was
remember.
telegraphed. It was telegraphed from a mile away, and what's his name? Jan kind of stuffed it, landed a couple of shots, and then hit him with that knee, which is where we stopped. The fight stopped. Now there was the whole thing about I think Joe Rogan was saying that, and you could hear it in the playback. He shouted something to his corner.
Yeah.
And apparently what he shouted to his corner was, "Will I hit him?" And his corner shouted, "Yeah, hit him now." So there was obviously some form of... he was obviously saying to his corner, "Is it safe to knee him?"
Yeah.
His corner just
That's what I was going to say. Will I hit him? Will I knee him?
Exactly.
And the ref also, the ref, I think it was Herb Dane, was it? He also said he's down. He's down, he's down. Do you know what I mean? Like,
what I'd say is, can we all agree that they really have to move on this downed opponent thing? I think
why it can't be made universal? Why
listen, Liam, why are we worried about it?
What?
What do you
mean? My thing is, if you put him in a position that he doesn't know what to do and he's trying to ground himself, he's fair game. I don't understand what the difference is. Kneeing, getting a knee standing up or getting a knee when you're kind of halfway standing up.
Absolutely.
The danger is not knowing what the fucking rule is.
That's
the ultimate danger. Because
it's actually more dangerous. You're right.
Yeah. I think
if you know you can be kneed in that position, you're going to do more to get out of that position.
Absolutely.
If you're going,
it's
against the rules, but will you fucking knee me in the bleeding nose? Like,
do you
know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%.
So I think
now can we all also agree? Wait a second now.
I know.
Aljamain made the fucking most of that.
Did. He had a full 4-course meal out of that one, didn't he?
Fucking hell, like, you ain't got to convince anyone that he can be a great actor with that shit.
No, he did the whole thing where I'm trying to stand up and
wide-eyed stare and the fall.
And then I'm crying.
Yeah, that crying does my nipples in. He was right not to fight on, like.
No, that's fair enough.
Right.
That's fair enough.
Wobbling around the bleeding place.
I think
taking 100 shots to the head, like.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing was, like we said last week, sometimes about being taken out of our hands. No, you've been disqualified for breaking the rule. I don't agree with the rule being there, but you broke the rule. You need it down opponent. You're done.
Yeah.
It's over.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But they need to change that fucking rule.
That rule either needs to be changed or absolutely solidified, because
did you hear that?
It's not known. Say again?
Yeah, Dana, we know you're watching. We know you're one of our followers. Sort the rule out. Get it done.
Shit together.
You bag of shit.
The other fight I wanted to talk about.
He's a big fan.
The other fight I wanted to talk about is Kai Kara France versus Rogerio Bontorin.
Was that the low kick? He threw a low kick and got sparked with a straight right?
No, that was the fight where Bontorin, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Bontorin. Absolutely, it was a jiu-jitsu clinic. It was grappling heaven. If you watch it, that fight, it only lasted the 1 round.
Yeah,
it was grappling clinic. He was all over your man Kai Kara France. Now Kai Kara France did well to defend, but fuck me, it was.
That was
there
great.
Was some moments
of that.
It was, when you're watching it and you're going, oh, something's gonna break or someone's head off. That was a great fight. He's another one to watch, I think. Rogerio Bontorin.
I have something I wanted to actually bring up, which was, Paul, you've disappeared from my screen just in case that interferes with the recording. I don't know.
Should do. I can still see me, so I can see what it does.
What was Kennedy Netchukwu? I don't know how to pronounce the second name.
Yeah.
This is right. Card?
This is on the early prelims.
Right.
I haven't seen.
What I thought was this: his athletic ability is very limited. His coordination is horrible.
Okay.
His stand-up is awful.
Right.
But I think who was it? John Anik was saying about Stipe. You know that immigrant mentality. You might be better than me. I might be the underdog, but I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
He was eating shots. The fucking amount of body shots he was taking. Just that immigrant mentality. I know I shouldn't be here. I'm not good enough. But fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm going nowhere. I mean, he was fighting them. I'll tell you this now.
He came from the Contender Series.
Jordan Espinoza, who's an American guy. Now, listen,
no, he wasn't. He fought some bloke called Carlos Ulberg.
Not him.
Carlos Ulberg.
Carlos Ulberg, who's a Kiwi, who's 6'4", 205, ripped, very, very athletic. His strong punches and really nice combinations. He was fucking ripping the body. I don't know how many body shots he landed, how many head shots he landed, and this fucker wouldn't go away.
Cool.
And just kept walking down this awkward southpaw stance.
Is he big for a light heavyweight?
He's a big, solid unit. He doesn't look like a specimen or anything. He's just a big unit, and he's kind of skinny legs, and he's like, honestly, his coordination is awful.
He's 6'5" with an 83-inch reach. Apparently,
yeah, he's a big unit. Like, he's awkward, and like he doesn't come. He's a southpaw. And it's like,
yeah, he's not a natural striker.
Awkward as fuck, and he was eating shots. And I tell you one thing, this boy has a chin.
Wow.
And a will to win. Like, these body shots would have wilted. Like, at one point he was against the cage and he was kind of half covering up, and your man went down and must have landed 7-8 flush body shots. Flush. And they were obviously hurting him, and he was kind of half turning away and moving, and kind of nearly like, if his legs were going to keep him up, that was it. He wasn't going down.
He's only been learning mixed martial arts since 2015.
You can see it.
He had his first fight in 2016.
Yeah, he's. I honestly, and I don't mean any disrespect to him at all. When you look at him, you're like, how is this guy in the UFC? He's so weirdly uncoordinated. And then he uncorks a fucking like a shovel hook.
Oh, I love that.
Comes across, bang, out fucking caught good and nice. I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
That's on the prelims, that way, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the early prelims.
I put it this way. If his skill set can catch up with his will to win, his desire, his willingness to grit it out, his toughness, his resilience, he's a fucking nightmare for anyone. His skill set is going to have to catch up.
He's 28.
Yeah.
So he's not exactly a young buck. You know
not,
what I mean?
not necessarily. But, I mean, if he is as single-minded about learning as he is about just not losing.
Yeah.
Like, this fight should have been done and dusted. Like, he was totally outclassed on the feet. He was getting just picked apart. And it was, honestly, it was like that John Anik was talking about Stipe, that immigrant mentality. Just that kind of, fuck you. You're better than me. You're faster than me. You're stronger than me. I don't care.
Yeah.
If you're not going to put me unconscious, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And he just kept there. He just kept walking him down. And he caught him with this awkward big shovel hook. And it was fucking game over.
Game over. That'd be interesting to keep an eye on him now.
Yeah, just like, and I was looking at it. I was watching it. I was like, this guy's awful.
He got a fight of the night.
Yeah.
Fight of the night?
Yeah, fight of the night.
Oh, they were like, your man was like lighting him up, and he just stayed on his feet. He just kept going. Like, when you're watching it, you're like, he's gonna stop it now. He's going down. Sure, he's going down. He'll go down now. Like, or what the fuck is this? Like, I was looking at him like, how is this guy in the UFC? He's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And then I was like, holy shit, he's still standing. How is he still standing?
And then, holy shit, he's knocked
Holy shit,
out.
he's gonna win. Like, I'd say at 3.5 minutes in, any bookies would have taken, you could have taken 100-1.
Yeah.
Like, the bookies would have given you 500-1. This is over in a minute. And they would have been right. Just, they would have had the wrong man. Like,
fucking hell. Now, I know we haven't seen the Edwards versus Muhammad. So I'm not going to, we haven't seen it. I haven't heard anything about it yet.
You haven't heard the result around?
No, have you?
I have.
I haven't.
Yeah. I watched about 5 quarter fights or something.
Okay.
I watched the main card.
I haven't seen that. We'll actually talk about that next week then, I guess.
It's not going to blow you away. The
I want to skip forward just very briefly to. I know there's another card on between now and then. I think Brunson is fighting Holland, but if we skip forward to the next UFC, the numbered UFC, which is 260.
Is that Miocic?
That's Miocic and Ngannou. Do we have any thoughts on that for the heavyweight, for the strap?
It's
hard.
I
think Miocic should keep it. Yeah,
I think it's all going to be about how developed.
Yeah.
How developed Ngannou's game is, because
the last time we seen Ngannou, he knocked out Rosenstruik.
Yeah.
All he did was run forward with these fucking looping bleeding hooks.
That's it. Yeah. You need to change that.
I think it's awful to say. Like, do you know what I mean? He's obviously just relying on touching his chin and a quick finish. Like,
so you can't really tell. Fights, 4 KOs. The longest of which was 1 minute and 11 seconds. He's basically had. Let me see. He's had less than. I think he's had just over 3 minutes octagon time since November 2018.
That's not necessarily a good thing. No,
Curtis Blades, TKO, 45 seconds. Oh no, wait a second.
And let's keep in mind, Stipe is the one heavyweight fighter who has managed to hold on to that fucking belt.
Yeah, the one thing I'd say about Ngannou, he had a much better chin than I anticipated, because Stipe caught him flush a lot of times, and he didn't ever wobble, which was weird. Listen, it's kind of hard to pick against Stipe.
He's the most underrated and undervalued heavyweight of all time.
Solid underdog in that fight.
Yeah.
After beating him and going on to beat Cormier and all, like, do you know what I mean?
Cormier twice. Beat
Mm-hmm.
Ngannou already. Beat JDS, Overeem, Verdum, Arlovsky, Hunt, Maldonado, Gonzaga, Roy Nelson. I mean, if that's not a killer's row of names to have under your belt.
Solid boxing, very underrated wrestling, Division 1 wrestler.
If you look at it that way, after reading that list, like, he's after clearing out that division. He mightn't have done it when he had the title.
Let's be honest with you. Since he won the belt, and including when he won the belt, he's beaten Verdum, Overeem, Dos Santos, Ngannou. He lost to Cormier, then he beat Cormier twice.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck me. If that's
not hard to pick against him.
Very hard to pick against him.
The reality is, if the same Ngannou shows up and the same Miocic shows up, it's going to be the same result.
Yeah.
It's going to be it dominate. He's going to use his wrestling. He's going to box when he needs to. He's going to punch.
I'm going to come out here now and say I put my money firmly on Stipe. He's a smarter fighter and he's a much better all-rounder. And I don't think that anything Ngannou has is going to trouble him.
Yeah, I think he's just going to come to wrestle him again. It worked in the first fight.
Yeah.
You fell not to do it in the second.
Double jab, right hand, straight in, double leg. Right hand over the top, double leg.
We saw already Ngannou has nothing on the ground.
No.
Yes.
I'll tell you one thing. Fucking Miocic doesn't have a bad double leg.
Miocic is a great double leg.
He drives right through you, like.
Championship wrestler.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are we
thinking about Volkanovski and Ortega?
Ooh.
I'm going to go with Ortega.
Volkanovski, take that.
I'm going to go with Volkanovski.
I'm going to go with Ortega for the upset.
Still discussed that. I don't agree that. I was only saying this a couple of weeks ago. I don't agree that Volkanovski should have that title. I think Max beat him in that last fight.
Yeah.
That's a BME bonnet, that is.
Yeah.
But I think Volkanovski will be Ortega.
Yeah. See,
you're going with Ortega, yeah?
I'm going with Ortega. Now, in fairness, Ortega has beaten a kind of a fairly hefty lineup of people as well.
Yeah.
Tavares, Brando, Clay Guida, who else? Frankie Edgar.
Yeah.
He knocked out. Was he the first one to knock out Edgar? Remember that uppercut?
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah. Cub Swanson.
Listen, I go with John on this one. I think Volkanovski is probably a little bit too much for him. But I wouldn't be shocked if I wouldn't be totally shocked. To me, it wouldn't be an upset. Like if Ortega got it done.
Definitely not.
I just think that Volkanovski will have a little bit too much from him in every round. I don't see him stopping him, but I'd say he'll have just a little bit too much from him every round.
I think Ortega will struggle with his output, same way he did against Max.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we think about Tyron Woodley and Vincent Luque?
I'll go with Luque.
Okay. Boy, absolute fucking devastation, fist to the face.
I think Woodley is done.
Woodley he's riding a 3-fight loss.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Gavin Burns on Usman.
When was the last time he looked good? Was actually Darren Till
which, let's
2018.
be honest, 3 years ago, and I'm not sure Darren Till.
Looking at this, right? No, I think we've talked about this before, but I like Darren Till, and I don't know why. But I kind of want him to win when I see him fighting. But if you look at it, right, so every interview he's ever done for any fight, someone's getting fucking knocked out. Some cunt is getting it. Every cunt can get it. You're getting knocked out. You're getting knocked out. And I looked at it. Since he came into the UFC, he had a knockout against Wendell Oliveira, a majority draw, decision. He TKO'd Cerrone, decision against Thompson, loss by submission, loss by KO, split decision, loss by decision.
That's not a great record.
Like he's fighting Whittaker, Gastelum. I'm not saying like he's fighting top lads.
Someone who's given it all that.
If you're shouting about knocking people out, fucking hell! Every interview, someone's getting knocked out, and then nobody gets knocked out.
Yeah.
Maybe give it a rest. Maybe start knocking people out again.
So the next one is the chap I was talking about last time that I think everyone should keep an eye on is Sean O'Malley.
Yeah. Is he fighting again, is he? I didn't know he's fighting
Thomas Almeida.
Well, actually got to go with Almeida in that one.
Oh.
I like Almeida. He's a serious
Almeida.
He's had 3 losses in a row, and he's lost 4 of his last 5. And I think this is he sees this is his last one to get his shit together, take it seriously. He's not that old.
Did he win his last one though?
Almeida, no, he lost the unanimous decision against Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez.
But he's 17 wins by KO.
How many fight skate is he on?
So he's lost 3.
3, okay.
I think like he went 21-0. He went. He got stopped by Cody Garbrandt, then he won, and then he's lost 3 in a row. I think he knows that he's 29. This is his run, and I think he can get it back on track. He's huge power. 17 knockouts in 20.
O'Malley. That's a tough one to call. That's actually a great fight.
Yeah, that could be a fight of the night.
He has 22 wins, and he's only gone to decision once.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
17 knockouts, 4 submissions. I think, but I will say, if he doesn't win this, he's gone.
Yeah, it might be just.
I think that's what's going to be his motivating factor. He knows he needs.
Yeah.
Get the finger out.
Okay, so we'll probably leave it there, are we? That's nearly an hour of chatting.
Yeah, I'm going to drink. I'm going to fill this several times over and empty it several times over until I can't feel feelings anymore.
Good stuff.
Behave yourself.
Good plan.
No. I'm going to make Mrs. absolutely embarrassed to have anything to do with me.
That's just general, Eric.
Going to pull your jugs down, eh?
Yes.
All right, we'll leave it till next time, and we'll talk about whatever cards the Edwards Muhammad, and then we'll probably get to talk about Brunson Holland. But that's it. All right, dudes.
All right. Bye.